there's
It's me. It's me. It's that MATT. Riding with me this fine Monday is SCOTT.
if you're not down for that, you have a problem because you're here to the point. You're on a huge pop wrestling podcast. What's going on today, brother?
Oh man, it's been a day, man. It's been a day. It's been a weekend. We got a lot to talk about. We got WrestleMania 2 from Pontiac Silverdome.
Come on, bro. 3.
Oh, WrestleMania 3 from the Pontiac Silverdome.
Anyway.
I even had dunked into my Monster Energy drink yet, so
awesome.
You better be ready for me being a little loopy. Been up to 2 a.m.
There you go. So a little bit of history lesson about WrestleMania 3. It's notable due to WWE claiming a record attendance of 93,173.
Hailing from the Pontiac Silverdome.
In the great,
I said that like 4 times.
In the great state of Michigan, you know, where Go Blue, the best college football team in the nation, is. The worst NFL team, NFL football, the Lions are.
Hey, they're on the come up.
Are they? But no, 93,173 in attendance.
On March 29th.
Absolutely.
1987. I was 6 years old.
$1.6 million in ticket sales. That tells you how much tickets were back then compared to they are now.
And shit! I'd love to have my kind of. I mean,
you probably got.
That'd be amazing.
You probably pay the price you paid for tickets at the AEW where you sat. That's probably what floor seats cost. You imagine?
I'm sure.
You can imagine if we could go on a floor seat for $60.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Then we have 10.
I think Aretha Franklin sang the American Beautiful at the beginning.
Are you watching Papa John's in the background?
Oh, that's our ad. My bad.
10.3 million in pay-per-view sales. So that was huge money for Vince. He needed that money. Obviously, now we know why he needed that money. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a plug. Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of plugs, shameless plug, we got the wrestling box down below.
Yes.
Go check them out. You got 15% off.
There. Your first order using the words "huge pop." Go to thewrestlingbox.com. He sells Funko Pops and other merch. It's a mystery box, so if anybody's into mystery boxes, great guy.
It's a privately owned company. It's not like a big old conglomerate. He's just doing it because he enjoys it.
So I shout out. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for Wrestling Box. I appreciate you guys doing that. So WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, so we start off with Can-Am Connection. Yeah, that's Tino Santana and the model. Well, it was Rick Martel at the time.
Yeah.
Against Morocco and Cowboy Bob Orton. Ace.
Yes.
Finally get to see him in action in a WrestleMania, and that match. Every week we talk about these matches and how they were able to tell a story, and this one's just like the rest.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have promo. They didn't have promos in this generation. I mean, they had them, but they were cup of coffee kind of promos.
Cup of coffee. Yeah.
You're
right. But you're right.
The old Randy Savage cup of coffee.
And then he leaves.
And
then he leaves. He's like, God, and
yeah, it's like, okay. But yeah, it was I really wish Twitch would say when people pop in. Because anyway, if you're there, drop a comment, let us know you're there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, WrestleMania 3, with Tino Santana and who, in my opinion, is one of the better mid-carder guys.
Absolutely agree with it. Yeah.
He's always been one of those guys that he could put on a match with a broom if you told him he had to.
Right.
Now Don Morocco or Magnificent Morocco, he's a different story. He's one of Vince's meatheads. He loved those big dudes that looked like they were out of a comic book, and that's what that was. Because the kid that guy had muscles on muscles.
Right.
And they were managed by Mr. Fuji, one of the all-time great heel managers in WWE history.
I agree. I loved watching Fuji. You know, you'd always expect something with from Fuji, and I loved him when those guys, when Freddie Blassie and him went at it. You know, so on and so forth. Use their canes or whatever, and Fuji was amazing.
Pencil neck geek.
Pencil neck geek. You know, in that match, that was pretty good to see in that match because all four guys were able to showcase their talent and their moves. You know, and there's a segment where they're the Tito said the Cam and Connection was beating down Morocco, and you know, of course, he played that big dude that got through it and blah blah blah, and but they were all able to show their showcase all their talents and skills, and that was good. So, and yeah, the Cam Man won that game, didn't they?
Yeah, they won that match by pinfall.
Yeah, so
it was a good opener to have at an event like that. It was, like I said, some of these matches early in these WrestleManias would be what you'd see on a pre-show now.
Right.
So you know,
I read that there was 12 matches in this WrestleMania compared to the 8 and prior the first two. So they didn't last very long. There was like 5-10 minute matches, if that. So that was.
I think that first one lasted 5.5 minutes.
Right.
I mean, they were. That's the thing. Like the guys then could tell a story in that 5 minutes. Oh. Now these guys need like a 15-20 minute Broadway show to tell a goddamn story.
Right.
Tell a story in that 6 minutes that you're given. That to me is good. Is great wrestling.
Right.
That's the difference between good and great.
Right. And I don't know what happened back in the day because I was, you know, we had Adrian Whisper on the podcast last Thursday, and he was saying the same thing, you know, back when he was doing ECW and stuff like that. Hey, Russell with Jimmy, thank you guys for popping in. No, we're just not yet. The announcement's coming late. All right. The announcement will be coming late. You have to stick with the podcast or come back in. It'll be probably within the next 50 minutes. Everybody wants to know that huge pop.
Hey, he's from TikTok, so
huge pop.
If you missed it here, Jimmy, if you missed it here, I promise within the next 2 hours you'll know.
Yeah, you'll know from Matt Rogers 8 and Huge Pop Wrestling, so it's going to be out there.
Because I fully intend on by 3:00 today, Eastern Standard Time, putting out a video to let you guys know. But stick around and listen to us bullshit about WrestleMania 3.
And Jimmy, if you haven't followed, please follow, man. That way you get notifications when we go live, you know. But that huge pop is coming. I'm telling you, and it's gonna be big.
It's definitely gonna be a while.
But back to, you know, I'm excited to find out. Yeah, hang out, man. Hang out. Shoot some questions. Guys. But no, Adrian Whisper said the same thing. You know, back when he was wrestling with ECW and WCW, his little stints he was doing, you were given 5 to 10 minutes, and you better tell a story, or you're not going to be on the next show. That's how they ran it back then. So yeah, I don't know what happened between way back then to now. But like you said, it's a Broadway show, and you still don't get it done. So,
no. I mean, shit. These guys nowadays, they can cut a 20-minute promo, and you're still sitting there like,
right.
Okay, what's going to happen?
Absolutely.
So next one is Hercules and Billy Jack Haynes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Wasn't
that
that
was
the
one.
full? Wasn't that the full Nelson battle, or see who had the
Yes,
best
yes,
full
yes,
Nelson?
yes.
Yeah.
Um, again, what's the WrestleMania in the '80s without a match ending in a double countout?
Right.
You know, I mean that because both guys were, they tried to get both guys to look tough and big, and what better way to do it is to either get a double DQ or a double disqualification or a
Right.
double countout, because neither of them left looking weak, neither of them left looking better than the other, and it was a way to continue a rivalry that the fans were enjoying.
Yes.
Um,
I agree that if it would have went, if there wouldn't have been a double count out and it would have been a decisive winner, I think I could have graded it a little better. I'm not a fan of double countouts. I'm
Me
not
either.
a fan of that. It's just, I'm not a fan of 55 kickouts either that you see in a lot of time, a lot lately. How many
But
times
you know what you did see a lot of in this kind of match were arm bar.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
You know,
Yeah.
sorry, I have to give my shout out.
Props to Rec.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you, bud.
So you're gonna hear one thing you'll hear on Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast is a lot of shout outs to people, because we came up with this platform, this Twitch platform on our own. Tried it a year ago. Schedules didn't work out, but now we're back and we went full bore on TikTok. We went full bore on Twitch, and if it wasn't for the fans of our Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast and our people that love our stuff on TikTok, we would not be doing. We'd be sitting on our sofas now. But so then we had a 6-man tag team.
The next one, yeah, King Kong Bundy. It was that one that it was a mix tag. It was with the don't want to call them the M word.
All right, the little guys.
The little guys, little people.
We'll do that. Little people, because their show is called Little People, so I think we're good.
Yeah. So it was King Kong Bundy with Lord Littlebrook and Little Tokyo versus Hillbilly Jim, the Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver. This is Haiti Kid's second WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was with Mr. T in WrestleMania.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I won't use the M word, but the little guys, they can go.
I mean, back then they had to go because they were the dark show.
Yeah.
Before WWE had, or WWF at the time had, a pre-show. Yeah. They were the pre-show.
Now we got this, and I live in Florida in the Panhandle. So in the Panhandle, there's called the micro.
Yes.
The micro, not brawlers, micro.
Yeah.
Anyways, little guy wrestling, and they come to Fort Walton Beach all the time, and I'm gonna go to a show one of these times.
They were at Clare County Fair this year, actually.
Okay, so yeah, they look, and I watched some promos, man. They can cut promos, and they can wrestle. So I think it'd be fun to watch. So yeah, but the little guys actually was probably, in my opinion, was my favorite part. But then, of course, you got that big fat tub of lard of King Kong Bundy smushing to end the match.
Hillbilly Jim and them won via disqualification, really.
Yeah.
King Kong Bundy, for a big fella, he can move though. I mean,
right. But it was almost like, where do I end the match? And they ended the match quickly. I don't know why they would end, but it was almost seemingly like
it was a filler match, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because it only lasted 4 minutes,
something like that. It ended quickly. If you remember, if you watched it, I was like, wow, that was weird.
Yeah, it was going, and then all of a sudden King Kong Bundy just decides to kill a midget. I mean, little person. Sorry, it's been a long day.
You guys are bad, bro. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna get canceled here.
That's canceled. All right, so.
Hey, they can't shadow. I mean, they've already probably shadow banned me on TikTok anyway.
Well, I'm probably gonna get a YouTube notice if it's on YouTube. I don't know if I don't know if we fixed it or not. I'll probably get a YouTube strike. Thanks, pal.
Oh, winners. Yeah. So we go to the next one, and it's King Harley Race versus Junkyard Dog in a Kiss My Foot match, I believe.
Losers must bow match or kiss my
Yeah,
butt
something
match,
like that.
something like that. Some janky.
It's 80s wrestling, man. It's
it is what Duke the Dumpster Josie said last night. It is a what do you say? Gimmick.
It's a gimmick match.
A character gimmick match.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the 80s was character gimmicks all the time, and I'd be so.
This was one of the shortest matches on the card, by the way. It was like 3 minutes long.
Well,
it told the story, and it was go, go, go.
Right.
And by the way, Harley Race doesn't ever, I mean, for the people who know wrestling, know that guy is one tough son of a bitch.
He is tough.
He is one of the guys that if he like back in the day, if he was shoot fighting, he'd beat your ass.
Well, I feel the same way as Bob Backlund.
Oh, Bob Backlund will fuck you up, dude.
He's a bad dude.
I mean, but Harley Race, there's a story, something about, and I'm paraphrasing, something like he ended up going from he found out that because he was NWA at the time, and he found out that Hulk Hogan and WWF were in the same city as him, and he went to the arena with a loaded gun and pointed it at Vince.
Really?
Supposedly, like that's what I had seen on some. I'd have to double check on that, but
interesting, man. That'd be
like back in like the early '80s. Like I guess he like because he was running the territory at the time for AWA.
Really?
Or NWA or whatever. But yeah, I guess they were in Kansas City, and when he found out that WWF was in Kansas City too, and like just down the road from him, at a different arena, he's like, "Oh hell no, this isn't happening." So he got in his car with a loaded pistol, and he went there, and he's like,
"Dang, I'm gonna look that up. That's crazy."
Harley Race won that one.
One of my favorite guys back in that day. I love Junkyard Dog and his little dance that he did, and his headbutts. Those were epic. It reminds me of my grandma. The headbutts. Boom. Grandma used to come up at you and stuff, but no, it's I like JYD. He did lose, but I think he got the last laugh in the end, taking care of.
He took it. I think he took the crown and the cape from Harley.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Then in between this match and the next one was Hogan's promo he cut.
Okay.
And he's like, "What you gonna do, Andre? When the real truth, the 24-inch pythons and Hulkamania runs wild on you."
With that little headband like cocked over with the thing draping down like that. Yeah, I remember that. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I remember where Hulk Hogan's. I remember that. Yeah, I always thought that'd be cool to do that, but I was never big enough to do that.
Yeah. So next up, we got Jox and Raymond Rougeau versus the Dream Team. That was Brutus and Valentine.
Right.
The Rougeau brothers, they're one of the more. They were really good, but they weren't. I mean, they got a title shot, I guess, would be the best way to.
Yeah. Well, you're not gonna beat Valentine and Beefcake.
No. I mean, some of these matches, I mean, honestly, like some of these matches, I don't mind if we just skip over and get to the ones that matter.
I mean, the one key thing I liked about this match is, I'm a Brutus Barber Beefcake guy, and you know how we see heel turns, and we've all been wanting to have Dominic heel turn or Ray turn on his dad, on his son, blah blah blah. This is the match where Brutus and Barber Beefcake and Valentine split up. There was a beef between them or whatever, and that's in the end of that. So that was pretty interesting for me. I finally I got what I wanted. He was by himself. And I think soon after that, didn't he join with Hogan or something like that? But there was a breakup there. That was pretty cool. So, but yeah, I agree. Hair versus hair.
That was Piper's retirement match. So that was supposed to be Piper's last match.
Yeah.
We all know that didn't happen because he later on came back and won the Intercontinental Championship at the Royal Rumble a few years later.
Remember the name Adrian Adonis later on in the show. So
if people don't, okay, if you're listening to this and you don't know adorable Adrian Adonis is, go look him up right now.
Yeah,
I'll wait because it has bearing on what we're going to talk about here shortly.
Yeah. Let me see. Piper's farewell match. Lots of sleeper holds. You know, obviously you got to put the guy to sleep to cut his hair, whatever.
This is the match where Brutus the Barber Beefcake was born. The barber part of it was born because he came out because Piper won, and Brutus came out and shaved his head, or it started to.
Now, didn't the barbershop form after that?
Yes, and that's one thing that I want. I mean, I'd like to go back once we're done with WrestleManias and go back, and if anyone would be interested in or watching us talk about it, I'd like to go back to the moments that happened outside of the ring.
Yeah.
And watch those and really kind of appreciate it now that we're seasoned and now that it's been 25, 30 years since it happened. I want to go back and watch the Saturday night's main event where Macho Man and the Mega Powers explode. I want to go back and check that out. I want to go back and watch the Piper's Pit where Snuka got hit over the head with the coconut. I want to go back and watch those things and react.
Shawn Michaels puts Marty Jannetty through the window.
There's another one that really sticks out in my mind, and it'll come back to me. But anyway, going back to then we got the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis versus the British Bulldogs and Tino Santana. It was what it was. I mean, to me, it was 8 minutes. It was close to 9 minutes long and predictable.
Yeah. But the last four matches, wasn't it? Yeah, the last four matches were the best.
Butch Reed versus Coco Beware.
Yeah.
You can move on from there. Butch Reed won. Then we get into, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
I have to agree.
It was the Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
Macho Man with Miss Elizabeth versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and George Stanwell stealing his corner.
Yeah. First of all, where did that Intercontinental title go? We don't have that no more, do we?
Well, they have a Intercontinental title.
Do they?
I mean, Gunther has it, or Walter, or whatever.
Anyway, sorry about that.
No, that was a pretty cool strap for the. I like that version of the IC Championship.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But that was the best match of the night, I would say.
I mean, that was better than Hogan Andre.
Yes. You know, Steamboat and Savage, they made the match. You know, they worked so good with them and together, step by step.
Macho Man's a guy. He went out there and he knew that he should be in the main event.
Yeah.
And he treated his match like, hey, this is my main event. I'm going to main event WrestleMania. I'm going to make sure that you are talking about my match more than you are Hogan's match.
Right.
And essentially that's what happened too. I mean,
right. And you know what? If you look at that, if you listen to what you just said, he was smart enough and good enough. And that's what made eventually the Hogan and Macho Man story what it was. Because Macho Man knew he deserved to be in the main event, but he had to follow on the coattails of Hogan, and eventually he got there. And as you watch through the years, that story developed to what happened in Daytona Beach when Hogan came out, and or
I
even
don't know
when the explosion of the of their team later on down the road. I just think, yeah, that just set up a storyline. The storyline went forever, which is good.
So then we go to, well, Ricky won that match. Ricky deserved to be the IC championship or champion.
And then didn't Steele kidnap Elizabeth or something like that in that match?
Yeah, kind of. He tried to.
Okay. Next one.
Next one is Jake Roberts versus Honky Tonk Man. Two of the biggest characters, I think, of that generation.
The guitar and the snake.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the character? It's the guitar and the snake, or the wrestlers?
Well, both.
Right.
I mean,
who didn't like the yellow snake coming out of that bag back in the day? Come on.
Well, that was pre-yellow snake.
That was pre-yellow snake. Okay.
That was just a regular python, and I remember, to me as a kid, when I saw the thing come out, I thought that thing was like that big around and just like as big as me and now, but I'm sure but yeah, Honky Tonk Man won that match. He's self-proclaimed greatest intercontinental title holder of all time.
Yeah. And he still wrestles, I think.
Probably does.
One of my favorite moments with the it's not the WrestleMania moment, but one of the favorite moments with the snake is, didn't Jake have a match with Macho Man Randy Savage, and he got Savage in the ropes, and he brought the snake, and the snake supposedly bit his bicep or something like that?
Well, that was on a Superstar. Was that on Superstars, or was it on Monday Night? That was before Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So it had to have been on like WWE Superstars or Saturday Night's Main Event.
It might have been a main event.
Supposedly, I mean, what had happened was, it was right before Survivor Series, I believe.
Yes.
It was right before Survivor Series, and it him and Miss Elizabeth were just newly married, because they got married at SummerSlam. And yeah, they got married at SummerSlam that year. And Jake, Macho was doing an interview, I think, because he wasn't even in his ring gear.
I don't think so. No, you're right.
And Jake got him in the ropes, tied him up in the ropes, and pulled out a cobra instead of his.
Yeah, that's right.
Instead of his normal python, and it was devenomized. It was still had fangs, but it like latched on. I remember, you go back and watch it on Peacock. They blur it out and they censor it when they show it. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah. But that was a moment that'll definitely be etched in time. And then the next thing they do, they say 93,173 people in attendance tonight at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yes, sir.
And then they, I mean, I say this with all due respect to these two tag teams. If this happens now, I get up and get popcorn.
Right. Right.
Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov versus the Killer Bees. Boring. It's a yawn match.
Yep. Then we have Dugan ran in. Why did he run in? I have no idea, except for
USA.
to be patriotic. I mean, I get that, but this whole segment could have been off the TV, and it made it a little bit shorter and more time for the Andre the Giant Hogan match or whatever. But that was a joke of a match, and all you remember is USA. You know, and I'm like, dude.
And then we get to the main event.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant in the immovable object or the irresistible force meets the immovable object. And before we go into that, what better in the 80s than Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura?
Yes.
Just, that was commentary back in the day.
That was some good stuff. I mean, what led up to that though was probably, we have Miz TV, but I wish we had Piper's Pit kind of better. I wish I love Miz. Well, no, I don't. Piper's Pit was a Miz TV in my opinion, but that was the one the week before that. That was the one where Andre took the crucifix off Hogan and.
Well, yeah, that was a couple months prior, I think. That could have been arguably. See, okay, everyone that follows Andrew and I on TikTok know we ask the questions of the day, and that's one that I honestly forgot about until I rewatched WrestleMania 3 of the biggest heel turn. Andre was a babyface that they can come.
Yeah.
And then he joins with the Heenan family, and he turns into one of the biggest heels in the business at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we don't talk about that. We see Andre, and we're like, oh, he's always been a heel. No, he didn't turn heel until shortly before this WrestleMania 3.
Right. Yep. And was it a technical masterpiece? Absolutely not. I mean,
it was a Hulk Hogan match.
It was a Hulk Hogan match. We talked about this last week, and as I'm watching it last night, you got the leg drop, you got the guy off the floor, off the rope, you got the hulking up, and you got all this stuff, and you got the pointing, you got the flexing, and then the leg drop and the pin for the win. The pin for the win. I mean, it was.
You know why, right? In Vince's head at that point, Hogan must pose.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, yeah. He slammed Andre. That was, in my opinion. If you look at that, if you watch that, Andre didn't come off the floor but 2 inches. I mean, it wasn't that. As a kid growing up, I was like, yeah, he lifted the dude up, but I'm thinking picking him up like this and then doing this, and that didn't happen.
No, you're not doing that.
You're not doing that to Andre.
And Andre did most of the work on that one too.
Right. Boop. Fall over. For a third WrestleMania, it wasn't that bad of a WrestleMania.
It was one of my favorites, just because it had 2 of the most iconic matches.
Right. Everybody will remember the tag match, the tag match with Savage Steamboat. Everybody will remember Andre getting slammed by Hogan. All the promos that led up to it. So that made it easy to watch that WrestleMania because that WrestleMania was pretty good. So
well, next week, just a little. It's actually. I say WrestleMania, one of my favorites, WrestleMania 4 from Trump Plaza with at the tournament.
All right.
And that's going to be, that one was a lot of fun. And we'll talk about that next week, though.
So what's today, right? Monday
Monday
Night Raw. Let's just briefly talk about the card and get your thoughts, man.
All right.
So we obviously know that there's going to be Judgment Day and the Mysterios feud.
Do we have an official card for tonight? I
got a little bit of things I think that people say we're going to have, or who might show up, but are we going to finally have Dominic go to the Judgment Day? Or are we going to finally have Ray turn on his son? Are we going to get done with this?
And if you're in here,
Hambone,
what up, buddy? Thanks for hopping on. We haven't announced our guest for Friday, our big thing that's going to happen Friday. Stick around; it'll be coming up here shortly. No, the whole Ray and okay, I'm going to say this. I don't give a lot of opinions on TikTok. I ask the questions. So this is my chance to really kind of give my opinion on the whole Ray and Dominic thing. Dominic sucks.
True.
I don't like him. I don't like in my opinion, I don't think he belongs in the ring. Not maybe NXT, but I don't think he should be given what he's been given. I mean, it's just my opinion. I don't like how he looks in the ring. I don't like the presentation. But if he turns heel, I might like him a little bit more. I don't know. It just doesn't. He doesn't click with me. He doesn't. It just doesn't. It's not. I don't know. It's just not for me.
Just because he turns heel doesn't make him any better of a wrestler. He sucks. He is not good. I mean, I don't give a.
I think that's why. I honestly think that's why he's kind of been thrown into.
I don't think Dominic sucks. I think he's
okay.
Well, how long he's been wrestling. But the kid has no personality outside of being his father's son. Maybe you're right, Hamill. Maybe his in-ring. That's a good way to put it. His in-ring skills is great. It's good, not great. But I think maybe the character and how because it's been going on so long. That's why I'm tired of it.
I can okay. I'll rephrase that. His gimmick sucks. Just like, and again, Hambone, bear with me a second. I don't like this version of Theory. I don't like the selfie taken bitch boy. I don't like it. You go back to Austin Theory from when he was in NXT, then I'm your guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I love Austin Theory from NXT when he was with The Way, him and Johnny Gargano and all that. Great stuff. The selfie taken jackass, I don't like. It's the character, it's not his in-ring stuff that I don't like.
And I'm hoping that since Vince is gone and Triple H has taken over, I love what they did at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. I hope when it's time to cash in, I hope he fails. I hope Triple H is smart enough for him to fail. I just don't like him. I don't like, maybe if I go back and watch the Theory you guys are talking about, maybe I just don't like this guy.
Well, yeah, I agree a little bit on that whole we're not supposed to like him because he's a heel, but I just don't like the gimmick.
Right.
Like I like heels. Like I love MJF. He's the best goddamn heel in the business, and I love his gimmick of I'm better than you and you know it, because that's what a heel's supposed to be.
Right.
This little selfie taking bitch boy doesn't do it for me.
Exactly.
You know, I'm sorry. I just don't like the guy. I like him as a wrestler, just not this gimmick. But I get why, because he's a heel.
Right. They did say that United States Championship Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles is supposed to be on the card. So, I'm not in. No, I don't know if I like either.
You know damn well that, and I really hope that Ciampa gets involved in that.
Yeah.
It's either going to actually no, it's not going to be Ciampa. You know, it's going to be our boy Dexter Lumis actually getting involved and actually getting involved. I think you'll see Dexter Lumis make a more of a predominant. He was screwing with him at the end.
Right. Two types of heel, right? The MJF kind and then the chicken shit kind. Theory is a chicken shit. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the annoying punchable face kind.
Yeah.
Love
I like that. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Supposedly Asuka and Bliss is going against Doudrop and the Nikki Ash. Please. Go ahead. I'm going to say something.
On September 3rd, I'm going to give us a plug. We're going to have Duke Dumpster Drosy on. And I'm only saying this because I'm saying a gimmick guy. He was a Vince gimmick guy back in, you know, everyone on TikTok knows who he is. He's a tremendous guy, but he'll be on our show on September 2nd. I'm sorry, 2nd, because that's Friday.
That's not the big announcement, guys.
That's not the big announcement. Because I announced that last week and a couple times on TikTok. Anyway, what I'm talking about gimmicks, this generation that we're in right now, and we're supposed to be. I don't like the Nikki. I love Nikki Cross as a talent. She needs to go back to Nikki Cross. I don't like superheroes. I love superheroes like Marvel, DC. That's fine. Not in the wrestling ring. Right. I just don't. I'm not a fan of it. I know they're trying to appease to the younger kids and trying to do that whole thing. But let's get rid of Nikki ASH and let her become Nikki Cross again. No more characters. Vince is gone now. Let's move on. Let's go back to Nikki Cross. Let her be Nikki Cross again.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, and thanks Hambone for joining the chat. I appreciate you. And everything that you do for everybody. The TikTok drip god.
So now we got Riddle. He has supposed to have a section in there. Riddle. Dude, what's going on? I remember the first. I thought to her.
Yeah, I hope so. That. I mean, I honestly didn't like Doudrop when she first came in, but for a bigger girl, she moves very well and she performs very well.
Absolutely,
I will say that she's a tremendous talent for what she is.
Absolutely.
And I really hope that she does straighten Nikki ASH into Nikki Cross again. I think that would be amazing.
Yep. Dude, a fan for a while, even before the name is. Yeah.
Yes. Name is dumb. I can't believe they're kind of saddling her with a dumbass gimmick like that.
I love her gimmick when she's wearing she looks like the street bitch, the hardcore, you know what I'm saying, the tough girl. I like that. Yeah. I like that look. I like that gimmick, So and then I agree with you, Matt. I like take the superhero cape off ASH and get back Nikki Cross. Then that team would be legit. I would like that because you have the badass bitch in Doudrop, and then you would have just as badass of a girl as in Nikki Cross. I think she could turn that way if you would use it that way. So
for sure.
Then
For
we
sure.
have I think we're gonna see Riddle. You're gonna eventually see Riddle. I think he's gonna come on tonight and do his
See, I at first I didn't like the whole rivalry between him and Seth Rollins, but they just click. They click tremendously, and I've loved. You're not a fan of this Seth Rollins, but to me, Seth Rollins, no matter what he does, is gold.
It is, but dude, this gimmick right now is so freaking annoying.
That's
I
what
mean,
I mean.
it's
It's
go
not
back.
supposed to.
No,
He's
come
a
on.
heel.
I get it, but it's not that. It's not a. He was a heel before this stupid or whatever this shit is. I don't like him.
Yes, he is the ham bones.
Well, he does wear good. He wears
it.
drip, but dude, the guy. I just don't like this Seth Rollins. I like Seth Rollins up. I mean, it was great. I loved him when he was part of the Shield. I liked him more when he was part of Triple H's gang than I do now. And it's just, I guess it's my preference. I just think I don't know. It's over the top.
Yeah,
Over the top.
I mean, he does. I mean, I don't want to say he's got the same ham bone. Uh he's got the same almost quality as what Jericho has over on AEW with everyone singing his
Yes,
singing
but
the song. And to me, to get the crowd into it like that, he's obviously, I mean, he's a heel, but he's not at the same time.
then maybe I'm going to say this, and maybe I'm going to see the reaction. But fine, I agree with that. That's cool. That's a great comparison, if you will. But Jericho does it a lot better.
Well, yeah, because he's the one singing the song. It's
No,
his
but
song. I would hope he was singing.
his whole gimmick is better. His whole
Well, because
his whole thing is better than Seth
Jericho's
Rollins.
been doing it for 30 some years.
Right. But I'm just saying that's a good comparison. But I would still say Jericho's way of doing it is better than what they're doing with with Seth Rollins now. Maybe in here shortly, well, it'll lessen. I don't know. But you're right, Ham. I don't think he's a heel anymore. He's just annoying as fuck. That's F. Sorry. That's why. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean,
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's it's annoying. He's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. He's a great talent. It's just it's annoying. So.
So.
So let me see. Obviously, you're gonna see probably the Street Profits show up. We're not gonna get Roman Reigns. We're not gonna get Roman Reigns, obviously, evidently, because he's a part timer.
I agree. I think that Steph is kind of lost in the shuffle right now. He's been kind of like pushed down the line. I mean, I'm not hating. I'm not a Matt Riddle hater, but he's a mid card guy in my opinion. He's kind of I don't want to say he's beneath Seth Rollins, but he kind of is. I put in the business right now in WWE right now. Seth Rollins has got to be one of the top 5-6 talents that we have, and he's going against Matt Riddle because we don't have anything else for him to do. And hopefully that'll change. Hopefully that will change because
you're not taking anything away from Riddle, I hope. That guy, he's good.
Oh, no, he can go. He can go. I just don't I don't consider him one of the guys. Yeah, I mean, I get why they're doing it because you gotta give the rub, right? You gotta give him some rub.
And I'm telling you, Seth Rollins is probably and again, I don't hate him. I think he's great for WWE. He's the guy that can push these mid-carders over the top. He's the guy that can perform. He's an amazing performer. I mean, shit. Why would WWE not? I mean, that's why they put him in the match with Sting. You know what I'm saying? That's why they give him the big matches because he can go over with anybody he needs to go over with. He's phenomenal in the ring. I just don't like the whatever you want to call it. I guess we call it the gimmick. I just don't like that. He's great in the ring. He's gonna be great for Riddle. He would be great with Theory, I think. I just think
and I think you're gonna see him be that guy for a while because he is a Hunter guy.
yeah.
Hunter and him.
We talked about this last week, didn't we? He's probably one of those guys that doesn't need the belt, to be honest with it.
No.
He's a WWE guy, he's a Hunter guy, and he'll just show up every week like Hambo and said he does show up, he does what he's doing. And it's just he knows the business and that's what he does. And so for that, he's amazing.
So I mean, I'm ready to talk about that hot button topic.
Yeah, not yet. Okay. I got some questions for you, man.
Okay.
First of all, I've started doing this on TikTok, but the day in history, it's Kazuo Yamazaki's birthday today, everybody. So I'm just saying. And then I didn't know this, but in 2010, SummerSlam once again falls on August 15th in 2010, and the show was mostly focused on the ongoing feud of John Cena and the WWE locker room with evading rookies from the first season of NXT, led by Wade Barrett. The Nexus was defeated by Team Cena, which featured the likes of Edge, Bret Hart, Jericho, and a returning Daniel Bryan, among others. It is also included Sheamus defending the WWE against Randy Orton, and Randy Orton defeated Chris Benoit to become the youngest world champion in 2004 and to become the world champion history at the age of 24. So he was the youngest back then on this date.
Yeah.
In 2004. So that was pretty cool. Two more things. Matt, Hambo, and anybody. Let me see. Should Liv Morgan go back to NXT? I don't think Liv Morgan is ready for this title run. I think we need to get the belt off Liv, and she's great. I think
she's over. Here's the thing: she is over like crazy. I don't think she has to go back to NXT. I don't think she is. I think the way that she barely won against Ronda was wrong. I'm not a big Ronda Rousey fan to begin with. I don't think she needs to go to the short answer. I don't think she needs to go back to NXT. She is. She shouldn't be. I know this is pro wrestling and it's not shoot fighting. It's not shoot fighting, so you have to have a underdog and someone who is a dominant force, and to give you that, like we talked earlier about Andre versus Hogan and everything. You had the giant in Andre, and you had the little big man in Hogan. I think, again, this was kind of rushed because Money in the Bank was the last time Vince had full control, right?
Right.
So you got to look at it like that. Hunter obviously sees Liv as a quality girl, and she has a lot of good qualities, and she's over. She's a great baby face, and with a SmackDown roster that is just filled with heels, that's the thing. Like, I'm rambling here, but I just don't think that she needs to go back down to NXT.
And I agree with you, Hambo. I agree with you, Matt. My thing is, and I'm going to go off what Hambo is saying. You know, I think that's my biggest complaint about Theory. He is not believable. It's not believable. Like you said, it's not. He's not someone that will go out and beat the likes of Lashley and the likes of Reigns and the likes of the big men. And so when you give him a title, in my opinion, it's not believable that he's going to keep it for very long. I don't think Liv Morgan is not a believable character to beat up a Ronda Rousey. Now, it's great for business. They didn't put it on Ronda, you know, and that's a great story they're going to tell. And I love Ronda coming on SmackDown and just dropping all her money and saying, I guess, you know, whatever. But I get it. Maybe not NXT. I just don't think she's a believable champion. But it is what it is.
Well, I think if you put her in, I think if you put her in the ring with, like, say, someone her stature,
yeah,
and like maybe put her in the ring with someone like Sasha Banks, or like Alexa Bliss or someone like that, I think her matches will look better and look a little bit more fluid.
Right.
It's just Ronda's just a beast. And
right. So my last question before we make our announcement. Everybody's talking about on TikTok, Mox versus Effie, and Mox did what Mox does, and he gave Mr. Effie a kiss on the lips. I mean, I have no problem with that. I think that's funny as hell. Now, people are saying that caused Mox to lose his credibility. I say no. I say no to that. I say he didn't lose his credibility. He is just doing what he does. He don't give two shits.
Well,
he doesn't give nobody. He doesn't care. You know.
Well, here's the thing. These people who are absolutely destroying what happened on it happened Saturday night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The events that happened on Saturday night, if you watch any GCW with Effie, that is his gimmick.
Yep.
Okay. So these uneducated swine of people who are so far removed from reality to not realize that this is pro wrestling. They are telling a story. It is supposed to be gimmicky at times. Effie did what he does.
Yep.
Effie does that every match. Go back. Okay, we had this conversation somewhat 2 weeks ago when Mance Warner came in, and everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? Well, guess what? Google him. Do your research. And find out who you're talking about before you make those statements.
Exactly, Hamlin, right. Your people that aren't comfortable in their own skin is probably what's going on. But
I'm comfortable with my sexuality.
Right.
And I don't I mean, the fact of the matter is Jon Moxley kissed the dude and he made more money than I make in a week.
Right.
I mean,
come on.
Come on. It's pro wrestling, people.
He's okay, guys. He's okay.
I guaranteed he didn't get AIDS or anything like that from kissing a dude on the mouth. Yep. I promise you. And to piggyback off of what Panda said on his thing, if you're going to be homophobic, I know I'm trying to get to a 1K, but if you're going to be homophobic about it, there's a door right here. Get the fuck out. I don't need that.
Right. All right, guys.
Seriously.
What do you want to do, Matt?
All right.
How do you want to do this? I got some hints we can drop. I don't want to give it away right yet, but it'll be pretty obvious, I guess.
Let's just say that he was very much wanted.
Part of Planet Jarrett. He was the NWA Cyberspace Heavyweight Champion one time.
He was a TNA tag team champion.
The theme song is "We Find the Defendants Guilty."
Any guesses, Hambo?
His moves are the Cat Attack, Death Sentence, Catatonic, and the Sharpshooter. His manager was Gail Kim in TNA from 2005 to 2007.
Hold on, I gotta look something up.
Chris Harris, you are absolutely 100%
ding, ding, ding.
correct. Wildcat
Friday.
Chris Harris. Yes, Friday. This coming Friday, Wildcat Chris Harris will be on the Huge Pop podcast, chilling out with Matt and I. I would encourage you guys to please tune into that. Ahead of time, hit Matt Rogers 8 up on TikTok or Huge Pop Wrestling on TikTok. Send us some messages of some questions that you guys would want us to ask as fans, so we can put that into our questions, so we can keep him on as long as we can. Obviously, we've got to respect his time. But on Saturday or Friday, August 19th, is it?
Yes.
August 19th.
This Friday.
12 o'clock, 12:30 Central Time, 1:30 Eastern Time, and we're gonna go as long as he can. So
and then September, I don't know how long, Hambone, how long you've been in here, but September 3rd, or September 2nd, I keep saying 3rd. September 3rd is Clash of the Castle, and hopefully we'll be to 1K by then. And Andrew and I will go live before that event, do our own pre-show. Anyway, September 2nd, a week and a half, or about 2 weeks away, we're going to have Duke, the Dumpster Drozy, on. He's told me last night that nothing's off limits. So we're going to have a good old conversation about Vince, old school WWE, WWF, the gimmick wrestling, his time in Florida Championship Wrestling and Florida, the NWA when it was Florida, telling all sorts of stories. That's another thing. Like I saw him in Rex Live last night. You were there asking questions. It was a lot of fun listening to you guys chat him up. I'll get a chance to do that myself here on September 2nd, and along with the SCO Double T.
And thank you, the Wrestling Box. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, the Wrestling Box is our first sponsor. They're a Funko Pop mystery box, a wrestling mystery box, t-shirts, Funko Pops, other merch. If you type in Huge Pop, you get a 15% off your next order. Go to that. Go to their website, thewrestlingbox.com. It's a great people. I thank you, the Wrestling Box, for doing that. And I guess keep your ears open, because on the 23rd we have another guest coming on, and I just want to save that name.
Yeah,
we'll say that name. I'll just say this: dude's from ROH. That's all I'll say.
He's a former. I want to say he's a former ROH champion.
Yes, former ROH champion. So keep it. Anybody that is on here, tell your friends about us. Have them stop in, follow. If you want to subscribe to Matt and I's Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast Twitch channel, that'd be great. Matt, it's been a real good Monday. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Matt, Hambone, and who else was in here?
That was Jimmy. Jimmy Wrestling.
Jimmy Wrestling, Hambone. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Much love, guys. Much love. We got to keep it going.
Keep the grind up. Two casual wrestling fans doing what we do. We love talking wrestling, and again, thank you guys. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we do that to the beginning. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, and
Should we do a props to our boy?
Well, he's
So, anyways, yeah, keep it real, guys.
hey, now
Keep it
I
real.
got nah. We all know the events that we lost one of our boys for a while, and I want to say thank you to Hambone for being an awesome guy. I didn't get a really chance to say that in my video yesterday. I'm gonna start giving thank you videos on a regular. But thank you. We need to do that more often for everybody. We need to keep everyone in a good place and not tearing each other down. And again, Hambone, you're an awesome dude. Love your videos, and can't wait to get to 1K. And you will be in the box, my friend.
Till next time on Huge Pop Wrestling.
Throw it up, buddy.
That guy right there, throwing it up. Too sweet.
See you guys next time.
See you next time, guys.